All right. Ready? Get set, go. Parashat Terumah. This shiur is dedicated to the merit of Rachel Chaya Bat Sarah and to everybody else that we pray in their behalf for many reasons. All right, Parashat Terumah. The Parashat, the Torah says, "Ve'asu Aaron atzei shitim amatayim v'chetzi orko v'ama v'chetzi rochbo v'ama v'chetzi komato." And they made a cupboard, which is the tabernacle, and they made it of atzei shitim. Anybody knows how you say atzei shitim in Igles?
Cedar?
Nope. Acacia tree. It's a very, by the way, very fascinating tree. And it's very good if you're going to make tea. It's very healthy to make tea out of the real acacia tree. It's good for hormonal problem, for cholesterol, for reducing blood sugar levels. It's really an amazing thing. So here we go. Anyway, so it's a very interesting description. Seems a little bit benign, but still very interesting. But as you know that there's nothing that is just benign and interesting and just like this, there's a reason, and a very deep reason, and believe me, it's a very deep reason why it says the way it was said. So, Rabbi Hirsch, Rav Shimshon Hirsch, in his book Yeshurun, he wrote a great length on that matter. And what he wrote is the symbolic character of the Mishkan in general, and especially the symbolic meaning of the materials in which the Mishkan was built. If you can get that sefer, terrific. You should look into it and get it. I love Rav Hirsch, it's terrific. In his Perush of the Torah, he explains the psukim based on the conclusions that he had reached from all of the things that he wrote, and he wrote a lot about this. We're going to try to deal with the concept of the material in which the Aron, the covenant, the ark, was made of. Indiana Jones and all that stuff. It's a cool movie. Anyway, so in his symbolic meaning, or his interpretation of what's called Atzei Shitim, Rav Hirsch writes the following, and I'm quoting: "Ha'etz hu bederech klal mashal legdila ulefricha matmedet vegoveret." Remember, we spoke about men and trees and so on and so forth. Rav Hirsch says is the following: that the symbolism of a tree is usually as an analogy for growth, for blooming, and for an ongoing and invigorated growth, whatever that means. It gets bigger and bigger. And you could look further in Masechet Rosh Hashanah in Daf Chav Gimel Amud Aleph. Together with that, there's of course the symbolism of power and greatness. For example, one of the Israeli units of the Israeli army, it's called Golani, the Golani Brigade. Their patch is an oak tree. Oak tree, solid, is big. Therefore, he writes, Atzeh hashitim b'mishkan, those trees in the Mishkan, the wood that you use in the Mishkan, and the vessels of the Mishkan are symbolic, usually for to indicate to us matters of growth, of persistence, of endurance, and an endless sense of refreshment and things that are new and rejuvenation all the time. So therefore, what's really the symbolism of these acacia trees, or let's say shitim, in which the ark was built from? And what he writes over there, Hamidah hanikeret shel hitpatchut v'hitkadmut ve'atmada, the ongoing quality and the noticeable growing quality of development, of progression, of dedication, and that refreshment that we said. What has to do with anything? What does it have to do with the Aron? It's very nice, But maybe he could have saved this for the end, of Parashat Shoftim, Ki Adam Etz HaSadeh. Save it over there. Why do you have to say it here? So, Rabbi Hirsch, yeah, nice one, huh? You know what he did? So Rabbi Hirsch gives here a tremendous reason, and he says that the symbolism is not for the Torah. The material in which the Aron was built, the ark was built, is not for the Torah. And I'm quoting, it says, HaTorah nitna liYisrael betzura kvu'a ushlema. The tablets, the Torah, was given to Am Yisrael in a permanent and complete form. Veluchot ha'edut, and the tablets, luchot evenehem, they're made out of stone. Yachad hem me'avim kubiya shlema ha'asuya mi'even. Together, they are a perfect square that is made out of stone. The length of each one is 6 tfachim. 6 tfachim, every tefach is about 10 centimeters, 6 tfachim. The width of it is 6 tfachim, and its thickness 3 tfachim. So 6 by 6 by 3. Therefore, together, both tablets are a square, a cube of 6 by 6, in other words, 6 tfachim, 6 cubic tfachim, which is Amah al Amah, an Amah, which is 6 tfachim, on Amah, and Amah hi hagdola shebemidot ha'orech, and Amah is the longest in the length measurements, not the distance, length measurements that we have, it is the biggest. And you could look into it further, if you want to look further, in Masechet Baba Batra, in Daf Yudaled Amud Aleph. Now, the tablets were made out of stone, and he writes, Kubiya Shlema, excuse me, a complete square, a complete cube, not square, cube, in order to teach us something. To teach us that the Torah is kavua, is permanent, is a rock, it's stone, it's permanent. Vehen al heyota shlema, and on the fact that it's a complete form, in other words, a cube, it's a shape of, it's complete. Heyot haTorah kvu'a v'shlema, since the Torah is complete and it's permanent. In other words, we don't need to add anything nor subtract anything, and it's permanent. That's it. The way it is, that's what it is.
It's written in stone.
It's written in stone. So, for sure, that concept pushes away any kind of development or progression. So they can be referring to the Torah. So therefore, if it's not for the Torah, what's the Atzei Shittim in which the ark was built for? Who is it for? Continue Rav Hirsch and says the following, and I'm quoting, Lo haTorah meshula kan le'etz. The Torah is not refers to the tree that grows, but rather us. Us. By the Torah, you could and you must develop. You must progress to refine yourself, to develop, to be able to go up higher and higher, to become better all the time. Ein ketz, endless. Ein ketz. That's what you need to do. Israel mekabel et haTorah, the Jew receives the Torah, al menat sheyaseh al yildei haTorah. He received the Torah, and that's what I told those guys yesterday, but they're not here, so. He receives the Torah in order for him to become Etz Shatul al Palgei Mayim, a tree that is rooted on a brook. A tree like this, it's healthy. It gets its nourishment. It's strong. It develops because of the water. The Torah is, of course, the Torah could be the water, but the Torah was given to us to become that healthy trees. The Torah is not really referred to here as a tree, because the Torah does not need development and so on and so forth, because the Torah is kavua. However, the Torah is the vehicle, the instrument in which we could progress, we could refine, we could develop, we could become better. And those atzei shittim in which the ark was built for, symbolizing that possibility to develop and to progress and to become better by using the Torah. Again, the tree by the water. And that needs to be fulfilled. And because that's the reason. Why? Because as I'm quoting what he said, Israel mekabel et Torah al menat sheyaseh al yedei Torah le'etz shatul al palgei mayim. You receive the Torah, in other words, the Torah to nourish you. If you're the tree, the Torah is the water, it needs to nourish you. That's why. And the reason is for you to become better. Now, you might understand, and we said it a million times, why a person cannot use the Torah as an instrument to promote his own agenda for his own benefit. Because then you are violating the purpose in which the Torah was given. You're using the Torah to promote yourself, not to develop yourself. And that's a very big sin. In other words, the Torah is not an instrument for you to make money or to become famous, is to become better. There are many ways to become better, different stages of development. We're not going to get into Erickson right now, but the different stages of development that we have to go while we learn Torah. And we could see it, lilmod, lelamed, lishmor, la'asot, l'kayem. These are the stages of development. Let's count. Lilmod, lelamed, lishmor, la'asot, l'kayem. Okay, 5. Erickson is 8. But no, okay, say that. Anyway, so and that is that task. It is hinted by, of course, as we said, by the material in which the ark was made of. The Torah is eternal, and the mitzvot are eternal. They're forever. And therefore, we cannot change any word from the Torah. And if you take that and you understand, you see how pathetic the argument of all the other religions that came from Judaism, that said, oh, the Torah is obsolete, whether it's Islam or whether it's Christianity. The Torah would not change. When God said to us, you are my people, God is not a liar. He does not change his mind. His word is word. It's written in stone. So we need to understand that. Now, when a person does that, right? When a person does that, and he becomes better and better and better, right? He reaches his goal. Now, the Torah was given to us for that purpose also because there is something greater than that. And that's what the Mishkan was doing. The Mishkan was doing, it was basically giving us a certain ability, even when we don't have the Aron today and the Mishkan today, but give us a certain ability to do that by harboring the Torah inside of us, of course. And when you do so, you receive what we call a simcha shlema, the true joy, the true happiness. And what that is, hashrat shechina. When you become, you get Ruach HaKodesh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu dwells His glory upon you. You all of a sudden understand. And that's not something, that you could wake the dead. I'm just talking about even little things that you all of a sudden understand things. You get clarity. Somebody might tell you things for years upon years upon years upon years. All of a sudden, this little guy tells you Dvar Torah, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness. If I would only understand that years ago, I would have been somewhere. And now that you understand it, in a way you get enlightened. That's Hashrat Shekhinah also. Okay, a small thing, but it's still Hashrat Shekhinah. And not necessarily the small light sometimes in the great darkness creates a lot of light. It's very effective. Yes, so there are lights like a match, and there are lights like, the stadium things, and there are lights like the sun. But in a dark place, it's enough for a little candle or match to make a great light so you can see what to do. So sometimes you get this Hashrat Shekhinah, this divine dwelling upon you from a guy who is that small and told you something about Torah, and you're like, wow. You don't need the sun. I mean, you can't get near the sun. The sun will be those big chachamim that we had. It's like sometimes they're just too good for you. But the Torah was giving us to do that, and we need to understand that. The true simcha is when you understand. I know Kung Fu. You understand all of a sudden. That's tremendous joy when a person learns Gemara or learns Devar Torah, and all of a sudden he gets it. There's nothing to compare with this. Nothing. And when the parasha says ve'asu li mishkan ve'shachanti betocham, and they made me mishkan, they should make it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God tells us, you make ve'asu. It means all the time, not only one time and for all the time. And it says, Kechol asher ani mareh otcha, whatever I'll show you now, et tavnit ha-mishkan, ve'et tavnit kol kilav, ve'chen ta'asu. Am I supposed to build the Mishkan now? So comes Rashi and explains what's in short. It says, ve'chen ta'asu means led dorot, for generations to come. It's not necessarily that I have to build the Mishkan, and that's why comes Rav Hirsch and he explains this to us. We have to imitate, in a certain way, the building in the Mishkan in order for God to dwell into us. You need to cleanse yourself. You need to appropriate yourself for God to dwell inside of you. Well, that's work. I mean, whether you are a Republican or you're a Democrat or whatever it is, unless you're an idiot, but even if a president, whether it's Trump or Obama, would say, excuse me, I'm coming, even Obama, Barack Hussein, even though he's not a president anymore, he would say to you, Mr. Z, I would like to come to your house. You say, oh, sure, it will be an honor for me. And I can tell you, if he tells me that, it will be an honor for me, for what he represented as the President of the United States. Whether I agree with his policies or don't agree with his policies is not important. And you think I'm just going to leave my house like this? I'm going to clean everything. Even in places that for sure he's not going. You would clean your house in case he's going to tell you, excuse me, can I use your bathroom 1 second? And then all of a sudden, you're going to clean everything. So that's for a person who is basar v'adam, flesh and blood, a person. Alachat kama v'chama, even more so, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to dwell inside of me, don't I have to clean the perimeter? I'm going to clean not only the house, I need to clean around the house. I need to pick up the papers and cut some bushes. I mean, not the bush, but you know what I'm saying. Shrubs. It's waiting for your help, man. So, of course, those words are a little close. How can we say ledorot, right? So that's why the Alshech says, "V'shachadi betocham, I dwell inside." It's a famous Alshech. I dwell inside of them. V'lo v'shachanti betocho. I didn't dwell inside of it. I dwelled inside of them. So, and it says, "Betoch kol echad be'echad," inside in each and every one of us. V'lazeh yiskeh she'itkadesh ha'adam, and that's how you're going to sanctify yourself. So there's two things: by cleaning yourself, cleansing yourself, and the actual dwelling of HaKadosh Baruch Hu inside of you. In other words, it's a totally different level of living. It's a totally different level of awareness. It is a different world. And it says, "V'kol ish Israel shayach bezo hakdusha," and any Jew could reach this level. It's not reserved to somebody whose grandfather was a big rabbi. It is also for you and any other Jew, even if he's secular. He could be appropriate for that holiness to dwell inside of him. Like, so you think about what you're saying when you say, listen, Rabbi, I did so many averot in my life, I can never do that. When you say that, I cannot hit you, but, you should hit yourself. Everybody could. You don't want to, that's a different story, but you could. Every Israel, that's what the Alshich says. You don't believe me, go argue with him. Sha'arei amra Torah, because the Torah says, v'shachanti betocham, ve'akol bichlal betocham. And everybody is included betocham, in them. Them includes everybody. So, in this month, which we just started, in Chodesh Adar, there's a tremendous chance for us to continue and add on in each and every one of us in the personal mishkan, in the certain personal tabernacle that we all have, because we say Mishenichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha. We increase the joy when Adar comes. And what's the Simcha? We said before, Simcha zu hashraat hashchina al Israel ba'olam hazeh. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu shed His light upon the Jewish people in this world. Adar, the name Adar is Otiyot Aleph Dar. Aleph always represents, if you want to know the meaning of the letters in the Hebrew alphabet, you have to look for the first place. It's a tremendous thing. You have to look for the first place that letter comes in the Torah at the beginning of a word. And then you can take this. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into this now. Then you can take the way you write the letter. For example, Aleph is Aleph Lamed Pei, and you can take the shape of the letter and you can learn from that, and so on and so forth. Aleph represents always Bereshit bara Elokim. Aleph represents God. Adar means God dwells. Mishenichnas Adar, when God comes into your life, Marbin Besimcha, there's a lot of joy. And all we need to do is really to sanctify ourselves, to be Mekadesh ourselves, to be an appropriate vessel to the light of the Shekhinah. Thank you, Mami. Comes the Kabbalah and teaches us. Anybody wants to learn Kabbalah, by the way? If not, we can go. Say, okay, Shabbat Shalom, we can go. Yes, question? No. You want to learn? How about you, Mr. Mango Tree? Yeah? בסדר, השני עושה חלומות, תענית חלום, שאלת חלום. So let's go to Kabbalah. So the Kabbalah comes and teaches us the internal order that there is in creation itself. One of the Mefarshim on the Zohar, Rav Ashlag, explains that regardless of the fact that the world has many different components into it, as a matter of fact, the only matter that exists in creation is what we call ratzon lekabel, the will to receive. Because if you look in creation, everything gives something. Even the stars to give with one another. So there's a star that gives light. There's a star that being swallowed up by another star, because that star is hungry. It's called black hole. Not black hole. Then there is gravity. They give each other gravity, and by the power of gravity, we have order. I mean, we don't have just like stars bouncing out all over the cosmos. The cosmos, so it's always willing to give. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and why is that? Because when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to give Ratzah lehetiv livruav to his creation, he said, okay, I want to give, and I have a lot of good to give, and I have a lot of abundance to give. So the only thing that was missing was the receivers, and the receivers would have been us and the whole entire universe. And in the first reality, when we had, or what we call it Pashtut Ensof, when Kadosh Baruch Hu is called Ensof, endless. So it was basically the whole entire being. It wasn't even the universe. It's. I'm telling you the truth. It's too abstract for an imbecile like me to understand that. What does it mean if there's no place? Because it's hard for me, because I'm a creature of a place. But there's no place, so God was all over. God is still all over, but in a much more condensed way. For example, you see my glasses? Pretty nice, right? Nice glasses. Well, where's this matter came here? To form the glasses. You know, we can go on and on. And or the stender, or this cup and the water, or Adam, or Ari, or anybody else here, or the chairs and the tables, everything has a divine particle in it. It's just in a very condensed manner that would allow us to operate, right? So that is inside of us. So at the time when it was the first reality, when the light of Ein Sof spread up all over, and that machshava, that thought of wanting to do good, also was the vessel that could hold this whole entire thing, which we call the universe, was also created and also started to expand. The universe is a thing, and it's a vessel that holds all creation in it. So together with that, it came. So you see that the speed of light, argument's sake, right, or light, when light spread, together with that, the universe spread. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu spread his light, and what was that light? Willing to give, and in order to give, he created that chisaron, that lacking in everything in creation, in order to receive. Because if you want to say, I don't want to receive anything from Hashem, that's very good, you're dead. You can't maintain yourself. You can't generate yourself, life without God. If God wants it, you would live until 300 years, and if God doesn't want it, you're not going to live 3 seconds. It's all from Him, whatever He wants. So that kli, that vessel, it's called haratzon lehenot, or what we call haratzon lekabel, and the universe receives. So that's basically the universe, and that vessel was built and arranged in an order of 4 different levels that really combined it all together and create that vessel itself. And every layer of it is really surrounding the other one. So it's a circle within a circle within a circle within another circle. And we need to understand that there's no way to, what's called hitgalgelut haor, to move about with the light until it's going to come through this world down, and it's going to go from this level. And these are the worlds that we have. And we have the world of Atzilut, and then we have, who said? You said Atzilut. What we have after that? Bria. Then we have Yetzirah, and then we have Asiya. We are in Asiya. Atzilut, mishum shehe'etzil, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, kind of shadowing the light on that vessel, and then it goes down from Atzilut, filter is down to this one, filter is down, until we get to our world, which is Olam HaChomer, is Olam of Chobriyut, of materialism, but we need to refine it and then basically reflect it back through something, through something, and that will be our job. Now, those 4 different levels also parallel with the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton. In other words, the Yud K Vav K, and also are arranged in the levels of creations that we have. We have the domem, solid. Then we have tzomeach, which is growing trees and so on and so forth. Then we have the chai, which is living, all living creatures. And then we have medaber, when man is above all. So the domem will be down, and then Adam will be on top, and that would correspond also with that. So in a way, when we say Yaseh Adam b'tzalmenu chedmutenu, right? Since we are represented, so-called, with the highest level, which Olam HaAtzilut, we need to influence our good in the world, on the world around us. And what we should be doing here. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He gave, and we should give as well. The way we imitate HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's why it's in Parashat Terumah, and that's why the Mishkan represent the order of the universe of heaven and earth. In Parashat Terumah, it doesn't say Vayitznu li, and they should give me Terumah. Vayikhu li. They should take from themselves and they give. I'm teaching you to give, and that's a tremendous happiness for a person when he gives. and it should be in a certain order to give. My father, Alav Shalom, used to tell me, he said, in Ladino, they used to have a saying, a verse that they were saying, and the verse goes like this: Cuando da el padre el hijo, when the father gives to the son, ríe el padre, ríe el hijo. The father is laughing, and the joy is joying, and the son is rejoicing as well. It's happiness. That's the order. Cuando da el hijo al padre, when the son gives the father, llora el padre, llora el hijo. The father is crying, and the son is crying, when it's the reverse order. So in a way, we need to take from ourselves also and learn to give to the world around us. Give it in the order. Share. Give. Whether it's money, whether it's knowledge, whether it's effort, whether it's everything. We should take care of our environment. We should take care of everything. We should be responsible. We should give. We should make things better. Just as much as God created this universe and made it better, made it great, we, in a way that we are B'Tselem Elokim, in the image of God, should be doing the same way. So you need, of course, to ask yourself, what have you done lately to make the place that you at better? For example, let's say you're in a shul. Did you make your shul a place that is a better place? Did you make it into a temple, a holy temple, not a conservative or reform temple? Did you make it into a sacred place? In other words, do you have politics in your place? Is everybody's welcoming in this place? Did you fix your attitude in this place, towards the place? Did you do that? If not, you're destroying. You're not doing, it's not a temple. It's a gathering house. I mean, maybe a pub. You need to look at those things. Have you done anything to make this world better, your friends better, your house better? What did you do? So let's say, for example, let's say you are, it's very hard for you. You don't have money or things are tough, and then you're coming home and your son sneezed and your daughter, coughed and your wife didn't look like, and you're angry. So how are you going to make this better? You're going to start screaming and yelling and carrying on. You're going to make things worse. So what are you going to do? Be mochel al kvodcha, just as much as HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Erech, Hapayim, V'Rav Chesed, V'Emet. You'll be the same thing. And then together you'll come out of this. You'll come out of this bad thing. We need to understand that. The Mishkal comes to tell us that as well. And now, and it says, כמידת הרצון לקבל השלמה מתגלה רק בבחינת ד'. In the last one, that's הרצון לקבל, always receiving. And מדבר, that's Adam, that's for us to give. And the purpose of a person in this world is to elevate himself above his nature, above his own, what he came with. So you're angry, overcome it. You are this, overcome yourself. Bring yourself up. Sanctify yourself. Bring yourself up. And this is only, and by doing so, you need Bak Bakadosh Baruch Hu. You attach yourself to Ribono Shalom, Rabotai, all the things. Excuse me, Be'ezrat Hashem, I'll speak to you maybe next week about that. I want to talk to you next week, Be'ezrat Hashem, about death. And why death is a good thing. But not now. But if you're going to look at things, it's not things that we get angry about, or the fears that we live in, are so meaningless, are so pointless. Elevate yourself. The only thing that we have is really attach ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And to take the Ratzon Lekabel, the will, and now you should have the Ratzon Leashpia. Imitate HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be mashpia. Influence. Fix things. And so on and so forth. And this is why, בכדי להכין את בריאותיו, שתוכלנה להגיע למדרגה הרמה והנזכרת, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לפעול על סדר זה, ד' מדרגות המתפתחות, אחת בחברתה, and that's in order to do so, הקדוש ברוך הוא create a level. So if you fail with one, you can go back to the next one, to the one that you're at, and then climb yourself up. You're not going to come and destroy it, right away, all the way down. Now, the going back to the matter of this of the Aron and the stones is you need to place that. And what do we put inside the Aron into the ark? What do we put in? We put in the Luchot Even, the Torah that is perfect, should be placed in the most sacred place, and that's inside of us. And we need to accept the fact that the Torah is obsolete. I mean, is complete, is perfect. And that should be placed inside of our, in other words, we become the Aron Kodesh. Not only I am the Mishkan myself, I am the Holy of Holies. How I become a Holy of Holies? When I actually do what? Put the Aron, put the Torah inside the Aron. Put my Torah, put the tablets inside of me. And there is a tremendous avodah, it's a tremendous thing to do. To understand that that's what we need to do. Not to fill our heads with fears and with nonsense and with questions that we don't want to hear. Mamash to be natua ke'etz al palgei mayim. To get our nourishment, our chayut, our meaning from the purpose of which we were brought to this world. Our purpose is to receive from God and to share it with others. Whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu had blessed you with, to share it with others, to become a quote-unquote a mini God, to be driven by your love to God, not your love to fame and glory, which it's not yours. Your driving power should be your love to Ribono Shel Olam, and the understanding that the Torah is perfect, and the will to make yourself better. And how do you make yourself better? By sharing. By overcoming what is hard for you. By putting yourself out of it, by becoming selfless, not selfish. And there's plenty of things to do. And there are plenty of people to work. But there's very, very little time. That's why it all starts with lilmod, with learning. Take divrei Torah ha'ele, acharutim al ha'even. Take those words of Torah which are inscribed in stone and place them betoch Aaron and place them therefore inside of you. Become a healing factor, not poison. Take the Torah and make it into the most powerful instrument in the world. And what's the fuel that drives this machine? Love. Oneness with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oneness with Kol Echad Ve'echad Mi'am Israel. So if you were gifted with something, I think you got the right attitude of what you should be doing. Rabotai, b'zchut zeh, I hope that each and every one of us will become a Kli Kodesh, a holy vessel, appropriate to be placed in Kodesh HaKodashim, in the Holy of Holies, but that has to be be'achdut, be'am echad, be'edah achat, be'achdut achat. Shabbat Shalom.